Next show, week 10 is our, we had a week hiatus and it felt like a month to me, Coach. I didn't think that week was ever going to end. Last Friday night, we went up to Telfair. Both teams, it seemed like, started off a little sluggish. The first quarter was either that or it was just a good defensive battle. And it just went from there.
Yeah, we've had several times this year we've came out slow. And against Wilcox, I think, came out a little bit more ready to play than we did. We took the field, and I don't know if it's hard to gauge how our kids what our kids are thinking sometimes. And we think we're ready. We had a good week of practice and a good trip up and everything. And you hope that the guys are ready to come out and ready to play. I think Wilcox came out a little bit more ready to play than we did. We had. Again, first quarter, like you mentioned, first quarter was 0-0, and not a lot was going on. I think that maybe we had a little bit better field position, but yet wasn't able to get any offense generated. And then later on, we got a little something going, and they got something going, and went in at halftime. I think we were up 13-10 maybe,
yeah.
And we made some adjustments. The biggest adjustment I think we made at halftime was probably an adjustment to our helmet. And that was to tighten up our chin straps a little bit more and to come out and play a little harder in the second half. And in the second half, we really came on and did a better job. But again, the start, I don't know what it is. At Turner County, it really showed. We came out and we were very sluggish, weren't ready to play, and Turner really jumped on top of us and was never able to recover. At least this game, we were able to hang in there and withstand the storm until we got going finally right before halftime, and then got going in the second half. And again, the fourth quarter, we just really took off and put the thing away. But again, anytime you get a win in this region, this is a tough region now. Anytime you get a win in it, you better feel good about it.
It was a great ball game, especially going into the game when I was doing our little pregame thing right before we went on the air. You look at the records of the two teams, and you thought, okay, this, just going by the records, thought it'd be an easy game. But Wilcox, they came to play some football.
Well, Wilcox, if you look at their athletes, if you look on the field before a game and you see what they have is a bunch of tremendous athletes. They got some big kids that can really run. The skilled guys are as good as anybody's. And to be quite honest with you, and I know people don't believe me, they probably think I'm just poor-mouthing, but athletically, we're not really that good. Last year in track, we had an awful year in track. We didn't have a real good basketball season. So that tells you a little bit about your athletes. If you've got good athletes, it'll show up in track. It'll show up on the basketball floor. And athletically, we were really outmatched last week. We've been outmatched most weeks we've played. We don't have a very tall team. We don't have a very fast team. We just managed to get by with what we have and do a good job with what we have, I think. But again, athletically, they're good enough to beat us. They're good enough to probably have a better record than what they have. But they're very well coached. I know that. Coach Mark Leffler does a great job with them. They just had some bad luck. Have had some really costly turnovers, costly penalties, things that when it hits you, it's hard to recover for. And that's really been their story this year. But again, I'm really happy to get out of there with a win, to be honest with you.
Let's talk about starting off the first touchdown. Eric Daniels, 60. I had it at 63 yards. I don't know what the official total is, but I had it at 63. Big run. And then Jimmy comes back, and it's AJ in the corner of the end zone. Made a little circus catch down there. Yep. And finally got things going.
Really did. And, offensively, talking about the offense, we had a big night from Eric Daniels. He started running back for us, and he's got a chance to be a really good running back. I think that he's a guy that may end up being our next really good back. He had 14 carries for 152 yards and 2 touchdowns, and just did a really good job, and also did a nice job blocking a few times. Raekwon Anderson had 3 carries for 73 yards, and then Andrew Lee had 6 carries for 70 and a touchdown. We gave up a lot of yards in rushing. We gave up 3 touchdowns rushing, plus we gave up 271 yards, which is really uncharacteristic for us. We hold people down in the rushing category where we give up a lot of yards passing. We gave up a lot of yards passing. We didn't throw the ball particularly well. We completed 4 out of 16 attempts, which isn't very good. We had one interception, which of course isn't very good, but we did have 2 touchdowns. One to A.J. Bell, made a great catch, and then also we had in the game, we had a short pass to Bryant Sloan, who had a nice catch there and was able to score. So our passing stats wasn't really good. Defense gave up 162 yards passing plus 3 touchdowns. And we'll talk about the defense in a second, but receiving, AJ led us receiving with 2 catches, 38 yards. And, I know you got on there, the next thing is our special teams. Special teams, I was really pleased with our kickoffs. I thought our kickoffs were very excellent. We did a lot of pooch kicks, onside kicks, and was able to do a good job with that. And Thomas Johnson did an awesome job with that. Really pleased with his job. But Raekwon Anderson, of course, we knew back in the scrimmage and we knew back in our first game with Manchester that Raekwon was going to be a real threat in the kick return game. He returned 2 kickoffs for 89 yards and a touchdown. That was really huge for us. And then he had four punt returns. We didn't do as good job in the punt return game as we had in the past. But again, we're really pleased with that. Offensively, it seems like we're rushing the ball well, not throwing it well, or vice versa. We really need to put it together. Offensively, we need it's going to be a continual story. Our offensive line has got to get better. Yeah. Offensive line's got to continue to get better. And then we also need to do a better job in getting the ball to our receivers at times. And it's just offensively we should be better, further along than we are right now.
All right, Coach. Go ahead. My cheat sheet there. Yeah. Let's move on to the defensive side of the ball. Huge goal line stand down there. I believe it was the second quarter, about 6 minutes left into the second quarter. They get 1st and goal at the 5, I believe. And then the defense really stepped up.
Yeah, defense has been our strength, although this week we did give up way too many yards and points. We gave up 271 yards rushing. We gave up 162 yards passing. Our defensive line was a little banged up. They did a pretty good job overall. We felt like our linebackers, Brian Sloan had 6.5 tackles, led us in tackles with that. But we had 2 other guys that we felt like had a great game on defense, and that would be number 5, that's Mincy. Edward Mincy had a great game, but also AC James. AC James had a really good game on defense, kind of a breakout game for him with 6 tackles and a quarterback sack. What was disappointing by the defense is our secondary. Our secondary is struggling. It's something we worked on a lot today because we know that everybody that comes in is going to throw the ball on us, and they're going to try to throw the ball deep on us, and we're prepared for that. But still, we're getting out-athleted when it comes to that part of the game. We looked at on film. We had bona fide chances for 7 interceptions. I mean, I'm talking about balls that hit us in the face mask or hit us in the body. Yeah. Nothing that had to make a great effort for. Balls that came right to us. 7. We could have had 7 interceptions, and we only came up with, I believe, 1. One out of all that, we came up with 1 interception. That was towards the end of the game. By Dalton Mazzell had that. So, defensively, I don't think we played real well. Offensively, we didn't do well. It's just we've got to get better to be a player in the playoffs. We've got to get better somehow, and if we don't, it's going to be tough. And we'll talk about Telfair and Telfair's chances this Friday, which I think are very good. But again, if we don't get better at everything we're doing, then it could be a quick exit out of the playoffs.
All right, Coach. I noticed in the second half. Have you hit that? You did? All right. I appreciate that. Well, that's what I was about to talk about. It's kind of a combination thing there with the adjustments in the second half. I noticed you put a little bit more height on number 14. And then Dalton came up with a big pick on the other side of the field.
Their number 14 is an excellent athlete, a great football player, but they have a lot of really good football players. Their center was the best that Toby's probably went against in a long time, maybe ever. They had, our adjustments at halftime really offensively, we didn't make a lot of adjustments other than maybe to our attitude a little bit coming out the second half. Defensively, we did make some adjustments on how we're going to cover people and things we were going to do and apply pressure, different kinds of pressures and so forth. We came out second half, started things off with an onside kick. We got it back, and I think the very next play we scored a touchdown. So that kind of got us going a little bit in the second half, and then we kind of had a little lull towards the end, middle of the third quarter. And then the fourth quarter, we really took off again and did some really nice things in the fourth quarter to break the game wide open. And I was really pleased with our fourth quarter because I think we were only up maybe 8, maybe not even that, going into the fourth quarter. And I can't remember, I don't think it was 8 points. But anyway, in the fourth quarter, we took off and really had a good run then.
I know we could finally breathe a little bit with I think it was about 4 minutes left in the fourth. And a little bit of breathing, and we could finally, well, not really relax, but just take a little bit of a breath because it was hairy there. Let's talk about number 14 for just 1 second. I noticed when they were on defense, he was Raquan's shadow. I think that speaks a lot to the level of play Raquan's at with their best man covering him constantly.
Raquan's a guy that we like to try to target on and in a passing game, and he came up with 0 catches, and he was taken away by number 14. They did a good job with that, and then really our next best option is AJ, but again, we still wasn't throwing the ball well. We still wasn't protecting the quarterback like we should. And that was a big part of the passing game. We had to go back and look at film. We had people open, and the protection was breaking down as far as trying to get the ball off. We had a lot of pressure on the quarterback. But again, today, Monday, we had a good film session. Went on the game field and spent a lot of time throwing the ball around, a lot of time picking up blitzes. We know that we're going to get a lot of blitz. We know we're going to have to beat man coverage, press coverage, and we spent a lot of time dealing with that. And I like some of the things we're doing. I like some of the adjustments we're making. And I think that it's going to hopefully help us this Friday.
All right, Coach. Let's take a short break, Coach, and then we'll come back. We'll talk about our senior spotlight, number 30, A.C. James, and then we'll talk about homecoming and so forth. And then on to Telfair. Okay. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back to the Coach Mack Show. Coach, our senior spotlight this week is number 30, A.C. James.
A.C. James is one of our players of the week. Our players of the week this week was Eric Daniels for a great job on offense and a good job on defense. We always, seems like every week we just love the play of number 65, Toby Dasher, on the defensive line. He's of course one of our players of the week this week. And also number 5, Edward Mincy. He's one of our defensive players of the week. And also A.C. James. A.C. James has been in our program. He wasn't able to play last year, but was in our junior high program and his freshman, sophomore. Got a lot of playing time as a sophomore. He wasn't able to play his junior year. And we're glad to have him back with us this year. He's starting at linebacker, kind of what we call a stack backer, and he's doing a really good job with that. We feel like we have some good guys there in that stack position, along with Edward Mincy and also with Israel Gilliard. But AC has really come on and has a nose for the ball and really makes a lot of tackles for us and plays really well. He's also not a bad running back, but we haven't needed him at running back, so I'm really pleased with the job he's done, and he's done everything it takes to get back into the program for his senior year, and I want to congratulate him for our senior spotlight, and hope he continues to play real well for us.
I know he had a good game this past Friday night.
Really did. He had six tackles and a quarterback sack, so I was really pleased with the job he did.
All right, well, congratulations, AC. You're our senior spotlight for week episode 10. It's been a quick season, hasn't it?
Yes, it has.
All right, let's move on to homecoming. This week, obviously, is blackout week. The 2005 state championship team is going to be here.
That's right. Homecoming is always a big deal for us around here. Every day there's something going on at the high school. It all started today. I know they were dressed up today in different things, and America Day, I think it was, and then we also had already, I don't know if you'd call it a pep rally, but something. I think they have something every day going on, and so I get really excited. This is just going to be a huge week for us. We have the game Friday with Telfair, and we have the 2005 state champions coming back for the 10-year reunion. We've done that now. We had the 04, then this year's the 05, and now next year we'll have the 06 state champions coming back. We want them to get here about 6 o'clock and come to this gate over here by Passion Circle. Glenn Hughes will be over there to greet them and have them come into our big meeting room, be all set up for them, and we'll have their highlight film will be up on the big board, and the quarterback club's going to feed them, and we're going to give all the players a T-shirt, and 2005 state championship T-shirt, and then about 7 o'clock we're going to take them out on the game field. We're going to recognize each one of them that was able to be there. Actually, I think we go ahead and we recognize the entire team individually, and then the ones that are there will step forward. But we look forward to that, and I think it's only perfect to have it on the homecoming because, the tradition of homecoming is to bring people back, bring alumni back and to the campus. And I know some of the coaches today, we're talking to players, the coaches that graduated from here, we're talking about their homecoming experience and so forth. So it's going to be a big week. I've never been a guy one of these coaches that have really battled the homecoming type thing. I know some coaches just hate it, and I think it's going to take away from the football game, but really I think it adds to it. I really think it helps the kids understand that the big finale of this whole week is going to be this football game. Everything we do is leading up to us playing this game. We've always seemed to do pretty good on homecoming night. We've always played tough people. I mean, Telfair is a very, very, very good football team, very tough football team. We've played, the likes of Brunswick before on homecoming, and I think we played Clinch County before on homecoming and all that. We always play homecoming not because of the opponent. We play homecoming where it falls on the schedule. We always are next to our last home football game. Our last home football game is always senior night, but our next to our last game is always homecoming. And then the one before that is usually rec night. So that's how we decide when homecoming is going to be, in case anybody was wondering. It's not because of the opponent, and if it was, we definitely wouldn't have it against Telfair, that's for sure. But it's going to be a big night, and
You're going to try to slide any pads on them?
No, I tell you, it'd be great to suit some of those guys up because there were definitely some winners right there. But again, I've had 2 opportunities. My oldest daughter, Darby, to escort her during homecoming, and I never knew that what all went on in the field. I know the band just does an incredible job for homecoming festivities out there and that sort of thing. The thing I'm talking to our players and the players have mentioned to me is that we're excited about playing at home again because we know we're going to have a big crowd. And we want our crowd to really be into this thing. We want our crowd to, when we're on defense, to just make as much noise, bang on the bleachers or whatever, shake your milk jugs or whatever you can do to make as much noise. That's why our defense loves it whenever the crowd gets going. And we also love it when the officials tell the band to be quiet, because actually it makes it worse because they're not going to be quiet. They may not play their instruments, but they're not going to be quiet. So hopefully we have a huge, energetic crowd Friday. The weather's going to be perfect, and just have a great homecoming night. And welcome home the 2005 state champions.
That's going to be a lot of fun.
It's always a lot of fun to see those guys. A lot of them I haven't seen in a long time, and a lot of them make a really big effort to get here. They'll travel good distances to come to that. And it's a lot of the same guys that were on the 2004 team and the 2006
How many high schools can say that back to back? Do they have the old state championship teams coming back to visit on homecoming?
But we're excited for that, and we hope to have a big crowd out there, and we hope to have a lot of enthusiasm for that whole evening.
And next year you'll have the 06 team here next year, right?
The 2006 team, and then we'll have a little time off before hopefully one day we'll Hopefully, well, of course, we'll do the 20th year reunion for them, but I don't know if I'll be around then, but we'll do that. And it'd be great to one day add another state championship to that so that we'll be able to recognize them in the future.
All right. Coach, let's move on to Telfair Friday night. Obviously, there's a ball game to be played around all the hoopla with homecoming and everything. Telfair's made some noise in the region this year.
Telfair is an excellent, excellent football team.
Yeah.
Everybody who has played them said they were fortunate to the ones that beat them, which ain't many. Urban County, they said they were extremely fortunate to get by them. They said they were a great football team. I talked to Coach Noble from Urban today, and he said, listen, they're well coached, and they're extremely physical, tough, and have great athletes. And we're really concerned with them. We think that we think they're good enough to beat us, without a doubt. I think they were good enough to beat us the last couple of years, but we just really got fortunate in getting by them. This year they're going to come into our place. I know they're looking great. They got a great quarterback situation with sophomore number 6, Blankenship, who's just a great high school quarterback, but also they're putting athletes back there, quarterback, to run it, but Blankenship will run it himself. They got all kinds of skilled guys that can really fly to the football. They have just a monster defensive line, especially number 55. He's just a huge kid, can really run to the football. And then their whole offensive line just looks alike. They're just gigantic. They all look like they're about 280 pounds and come off the football. So they got a running back that's one of the better running backs in the region. So we know that we have our work cut out for us, and we know it's going to be a tough football game. And we also know this thing can go either way. So we're hoping by the fact we're home, hopefully we get our crowd behind us. Hopefully our kids will feed off that, and hopefully we're ready to focus to play a game that maybe we can give ourselves a chance to be there at the end. But again, this is I want people to understand, I mean, when they come to this thing, this isn't the Telfair of a long time ago. This is a new Telfair football program. And these guys can really play football, and they're outstanding. They're a playoff team. They're going to be in the playoffs, and they're going to make some noise. They're good enough to beat us. They're good enough to win the rest of the games. They're good enough to win games in the playoffs. So if we're not ready, if we don't play better than what we have been, we'll get beat. Simple as that. And we understand that. So really the emphasis on us this week is to get better, for us to get better. We're worried about Telfair and what they do, but we really have to focus on us to get us better. Also this week we have B team. We finished our B team season. We had a really great win last Thursday against Ware County. It was a lot of fun. It came down to the end, and it was a great B team football game. Those guys, everyone who came to that game Thursday really enjoyed that. We go to Pierce County Thursday. Hopefully parents can make it up there to see their kids play. And big thing this week is Wednesday.
State championship?
No, Wednesday we have Sly County coming to Folkestone, Georgia for playoff softball.
Yeah.
And I know that we're going to get down to practice on Wednesday as fast as we can, and we're going to hopefully be over there for the first pitch. And I've encouraged all my guys to get over there and to really support our maidens, and a great group of girls. A lot of those girls make up not only your softball team, but your cheerleaders. A lot of them are in the band. These play basketball and run track and other sports. So these are some really great kids Coach Baxter has. And especially the senior group of girls have just done an incredible job playing. My daughter was 2 years ahead of them, but she played with a lot of these girls, so I got a chance to see them play at a very, very young age and come all the way up and through. So I'm excited. I'm excited for Maiden softball. I'm excited to see us beat Sly County and advance on to Columbus. They go to Columbus for the rest of the tournament, I believe. But we have a good softball team. Hopefully Wednesday evening. I know that's church night, and but I hope we start the first one at 5 and the next one at 7.
Right.
Hopefully everybody can make it out to both games, and hopefully we can win both those games. If we do happen to split those games, we'll host then on Thursday. And
well, Sly County, what's that, a 3 or 4 hour ride for them to come down?
Yeah, it's a long way. I'm glad they're coming here, and our people don't have to go there. It's up around Americus, Georgia, I believe. I'm not real familiar with that side of the state, but I believe they are. And I know they have a good team. They're really good in baseball, really good in softball. And but I tell you what, I think this is going to be a great run for Maiden softball right here, and hopefully we can get by, and hopefully we can fill up that facility over there, standing room only, and really get it going for those girls. And if we do have to play on Thursday, we've already mentioned something about maybe moving the B team game a week later, so we can get everybody over there to that thing, because this is really huge for our Maiden softball program, and for us to get by this will be a huge hurdle for them to get through this first round and move on to the state tournament in Columbus, Georgia. But again, it's going to be a big week. It's a lot of fun. The weather's cooled off and all that. So, I'm not a big hoopla person and big pep rally guy, but it is fun to see the kids excited for everything and see the community excited for this. So hopefully everybody will come out and come to the pep rally on Friday, and then enjoy the festivities. Maiden softball Wednesday, B team football Thursday, and of course Charlton Telfair on Friday night.
It's a busy week.
It sure
it's
is.
a busy week. Now we're scheduled to carry you to the football, and we have if 3 games are necessary, we have all 3 games lined up to webcast as well. So for out of town folks that want to see the Maidens, the 2nd straight year they're hosting state playoff game here, and I think I was told the other night, I believe it's the 5th season straight they've made the playoffs.
That's right.
So Coach Baxter's doing a phenomenal job over there.
He does an incredible job with our softball program, and he deserves a tremendous amount of credit for our baseball success, bringing the kids up through the younger programs and that sort of thing. He's really tireless in his efforts to help these kids with softball and with baseball. And he coached my daughter, and I'm really appreciative of the job he did with that. And he used to be one of my football coaches a long time ago, and he was a tremendous football coach. Really hate to lose him on that, but again, this is going to be a big week. And just to mention in closing, our region's really getting really interesting right now, with Clinch County last Friday beating soundly Turner County. So you have us with a region loss, Clinch with a region loss, Irwin with a region loss, and Turner with a region loss. So I think there's 4 of us. Is that right? There's 4 of us with a region loss.
Yeah.
1 region loss. So this thing's getting real interesting these last 4 weeks, last 3 weeks. And of course, Turner County, I think they're right there Telfair's right there amongst all of them also. And Telfair's as good as any of them. So there's really, I think, 5 of us that have a legitimate chance for a region title in this thing. And I think we have a chance to have 5 of us possibly go to the playoffs, which is be huge, because most regions only have 1, maybe 2 teams make the playoffs. But we got a chance to possibly send up to 5, send 5 up to the playoffs, which is going to be exciting. These last 3 weeks, sort this region out. It's going to be very exciting to watch.
All right, Coach. Anything else you want to hit on before we leave?
No, just hopefully we have a huge crowd Friday, a huge crowd Wednesday over there. Watch the Maidens, cheer them on to victory. Then a huge crowd on Friday, and again, a request by our players is we want that place as loud and as full as we can get, and to make a lot of noise, and especially when we're on defense. Now, when we're on offense, we've got to be quiet, because Jimmy don't speak up real loud. But when we're on defense, we want that place shaking and as much noise as we can get, and really show Telfair that I don't know if we're going to win or not, but at least our fans are really into this thing. It's
going to be a fun week. Thanks for having us as always, Coach. We appreciate it. We'll see everybody Wednesday over at Maiden Field. First pitch is at 5 o'clock, second game 7 o'clock. Third game at 5 on Thursday if necessary, but we're hoping they sweep and get it over with.
That'd be great.
And then Friday night, big homecoming game right here. Y'all come up, join us, kickoff 7:30, but pregame festivities are at 7.
Hope to have a big crowd at 7 o'clock to welcome back the 2005 state champions.
All right. Y'all have a great week. We'll see you Wednesday afternoon.